Thanks everybody. Now I've got to follow John now, one of our great... But I wanted to tell a bit of a story, and I'm sorry if you've heard it before, because I've ranted about this before, but I never tire of telling it. And when we started on the last general election campaign, in Salford, where I'm from, we decided to launch it on the same day as Salford Labour Movement's May Day rally. And what we do every May Day is we march to a place called Bexley Square. And Bexley Square has an important place in our heart. And it's because years and years and years ago, we had a number of people who marched to Bexley Square, and they were protesting against the means testing of unemployment benefits and the cutting of the winter fuel allowance, the coal allowance as it was known then. And they were met with horrendous violence, police on horses with batons, who beat the protesters, and it became known as the Battle of Bexley Square. And our Trades Council in Salford managed to get one of those red plaques put in Bexley Square. So we use it as a focal point now every year on May Day. So we thought, yeah, it's great, we'll launch the general election campaign on May Day. It was really, really fitting. So I remember I was standing waiting to do my speech, like rallying the troops. And remember, at that time we had all sorts of media reports saying that the Labour Party was going to be absolutely destroyed, that Jeremy Corbyn was on his way out, and that people just didn't have an appetite for socialism. And I got a little bit depressed, and I thought, well, I wonder if it's true, but I've still got this inherent belief that everybody wants the same thing that I'm trying to champion, and who, the rest of the team are trying to champion. And then I got even more depressed because I thought to myself, this is like a poignant place in Salford. I wonder what the people who were involved in the Battle of Bexley Square would think about where we are now. They were like you in this room. They put their blood, sweat and tears into fighting in a labour movement for a better life. Then there were the people who came after them, risking their livelihoods, putting themselves and their families at risk just to stand up for what they believed in, to try and make life better for their children. And people lost everything in some cases, fighting for that political and social justice. And I thought to myself, well, if they could look at where we are now, would they think all of that was worth it? Would they think that it was worth putting themselves in that position and putting their lives and families at risk? And I got really depressed because I thought, look at where we are now, especially in Salford. I thought we've got people walking miles and miles every day to go to 0-hour contract jobs, only to find out that they've got no work, and not even been able to afford the bus fare home. You've got people being sanctioned for missing appointments at the job centre or other absurd excuses, having to live sometimes for months without any money coming in at all. You've got people having to undergo the dehumanising work capability assessment, only to have all of their points stripped away. You've got a third of children living in poverty, families sleeping in one room against walls that are covered in black mould. And I thought to myself, the people in our movement who fought for everything, if they could see what was going on now, they would be turning in their graves thinking, my God, I fought for a better world, yet everything I fought for is being regressed and reversed at a horrific pace. So then we went out into the general election, and Labour's manifesto was published. And I always say, whoever leaked the manifesto was the greatest PR